bad adjustments, sometimes no adjustments, communications being ignored sometimes, or someone just didn't hear it, so miscoms, uh, and then mistakes. That's the only way that happens to begin with. I mean,
All right. Since this is the final interview, I believe for you this year, no introduction. I'm just gonna start like this. Finesse, thank you so much for taking the time. Tough way to go down, losing to C9, especially in uh comeback against you guys in a manner like that. I mean, just want to ask you the obvious. What's going through your mind?
uh, not much. I mean, I try not to get too much into my own head after these games. Lot of things to review, a lot of things to think about, and we'll take it step by step as far as the team is concerned, and just take the day, not think about it too much. So not really much going through my head. It sucks. It is what it is. But honestly, like, if I'm being completely genuine, the fact that we were even in a position where if we won this game that we might make playoffs tells you everything you need to know about our season, and overall we didn't deserve to make it.
Yeah, as you said, I kind of feel the same way in the sense that it's an encapsulation of NRG season. Coming so close, looking like you guys were back into the form that people wanted you to be in, but of course,
Yeah.
not falling short at the very end. And so I gotta ask about the obvious: 12-5 up, comfortable position against C9. Looked like things were gonna go your way. Obviously, it didn't. What went wrong?
Bad adjustments, sometimes no adjustments, communications being ignored sometimes, or someone just didn't hear it, so miscoms, and then mistakes. That's the only way that happens to begin with. I mean, we played better than them the entire game, in my opinion. I think they will even admit that. They should have won that. 9 out of 10 times we win that game if we had just, one little thing. So that being said, however, they played great. It takes a lot to come back from a 12-5 down, so props to them for doing it. And like I said, even if we had won today, my mentality would have still been, we just still don't deserve to make it to playoffs. So nothing's really changed mindset-wise. It does suck to lose the way that we did, but we simply just haven't played to the level that I'd expected us to.
Such as the standard that you put in for yourself, throughout your career, always being in the top of your region and also sometimes internationally. Still though, going back into the series, as you said, when the team is in a state like that, just kind of not going through the usual motions, especially at the very end, at the end of that map. I mean, how difficult was it for you as the IGO from your point of view, and just having to try to salvage whatever it is that that you guys had, if that's the appropriate way to say it?
You mean you do your best to figure out a solution to what's happening, and yeah, that's basically it. You do your best, and mentally, I've been in many situations like this, experience-wise, so it doesn't phase me too much when that kind of stuff happens, but it does kind of get a little rattly in the comms the closer they get to winning. So you try the best that you can to just chill out and think things through with a clear mind. And yeah, like I said, just couldn't make the right adjustments at the correct times, and even when we had a good round, we'd still somehow lose it. So just bad overall. Just anytime you get come back on like that, it's just a straight up a choke. And like I said, I mean, it really makes no difference how, like, even if we ended up winning this game, I still would have felt the same way. So just one of those things where it's a very, very disappointing season entirely.
What do you think the team lacked overall? Not just focusing on this entire series, just focusing on stage 2 with your inclusion, that just led you to believe that, or led you to get that thought of just, the team is not going to be good, be very good to your idealized mind.
I mean, our cohesion as a unit in high pressure situations, most of the time it would fall apart. The very few times it didn't fall apart was actually today. Today's probably the best we've played, and we still like somehow ended up throwing the game. So it's one of those things where it just comes down to the team chemistry just isn't exactly at a level where under high stress and pressure we're capable of still calming the correct things, making the perfect reactions. And I think it just comes down to that more than anything else. We just didn't. There's a lot that we could have, like when we review games, it's like, why didn't we just think of this in the moment, you know? And that happened a lot throughout the season. And just a lot of bad rounds lost, like rounds you should never lose. And it just giving away the momentum we have in certain games. Yeah, I would say that's what went wrong.
Given the fact that you had to step into the IGO role, returning to this team with a little bit of time at your hands, and having to play 3 games within the span of this week, this one being the last one, how difficult was it for you to just try to cram everything in with what little time you had?
I played. The split last season was even worse because we had to play playoffs in 2 days after we qualified. So it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's terrible. The format is terrible. Don't get me wrong, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm used to it, so it wasn't that crazy, honestly. It was just you do what you can to prepare, and then you go in with the mindset that we're gonna play your own game. You're gonna play your own game. And today was one of the few days we actually, like I'm telling you, this is the best that we've ever played on that stage. We played better today than we did against Crew. We just couldn't close out the games. And yeah.
As I said, you kind of had a very eventful, decorated career, both domestically and also internationally, doing well consistently. Of course, you had your low points. Of course, looking at last year's losing to Billy Billy, and then losing to X10 2021. Where does this result rank among like your most disappointing results?
I have not even thought about that, honestly. I guess number 1, just because it's the most recent. Truthfully, I don't know. I mean, anytime like I lose a game like this, or I lose a tournament, or I lose a match that you should have won or whatever, it always sucks. And that's just one less opportunity that you have going forward. But yeah, I can safely say that because I didn't feel like we deserved to make it in the first place, considering our level of play at the moment, that I've had worse losses for sure.
Just sort of now, I want to ask about just the future. I mean, you kind of talked about a little bit with me about having to join this team with some, instead of just waiting it out to next year, just have a fresh start. I mean, where do you kind of see your future? Do you feel your future? Do you feel you might? Do you feel there's a chance for you to return to NRG, or do you feel your future's with another team?
Oh, I think there's still a future with myself and NRG, but that's on NRG to decide that more than anything else, like the organization. As far as I'm concerned, like I'll probably stick with like the person I will stick with every single time would be Sam, just because we joined it together. So in that sense, we want to try to stick together as much as possible. But if that isn't possible and I'm not on a team at all, then I'll stream. So truthfully, I haven't thought about it at all, as far as like what is like coming next for me, because when I'm in the moment focused, I'm focused on my team, and I want to put the max effort in that I can on the team. And when you think about stuff like that, it takes away from the focus that like for the season. And now that the season's over, I'll think about it more, and then yeah, in a month maybe I'll have a better answer for you.
Then kind of mentioned, just want to clear it up. Then you prefer to just have to play with Sam, right? In a team, you prefer that?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Now going over to just again reflecting on your season, you just overall your year, dude. Sure, it was very short compared to the other competitors, but just sort of what's been your biggest takeaway, just having to step in, going through this situation, doing the best you can, and of course coming up short at the very end.
So I correct coming into the season, we knew that this was a very likely possibility just because we don't have much time. That being said, I was entirely prepared for the failure that we're now at. It doesn't get any easier though. Honestly, it still sucks the same as it would any other match, but yeah, I was entirely prepared for the worst outcome, which is this. And that's what a challenge is. End of the day, you challenge yourself to see if you can get to that level again or play at that level again. And I'm 100% sure that I can play and call a lot better than I did this season. And so I haven't given up in myself. I haven't given up on my team. It's just one of those things where it just didn't work out for us this time. And yeah, I'm still proud of the fact that we were able to stay in a lot of the games. There's so many things, there's so many good takeaways that are hard to think of right now just because something bad happened. But I'm still proud of the team. I'm still proud of everyone on the team for trying their best to get our team to a level where we were competitive. And it's just unfortunate that we weren't able to get there. And as far as our supporters and stuff, it literally just means so much that they just consistently come, spend their money, spend their time to just watch us. And, all that means a lot to me. So yeah, I don't know, that my main takeaways are I try to be as positive as I can and understand that I am capable of calling and playing at this level. It's just it's not as easy as just coming in and slotting yourself in and playing against teams like Sen, G2, Cloud9, Crew, and just thinking you're going to destroy them, which was never our thought process anyway. Just tried the best that we can, failed, and it's okay. You'll learn.
I'll be honest, like when you stepped into the room and since I thought you were going to be much more disappointed, but fortunately, you are already kind of in a way looking ahead, not really disappointed. Given your state of mind before this series and even after this series, just doing it in a way that brings hope for yourself.
Yeah.
That said, just kind of where does this mindset come from? Does it come from just having to receive the plenty of love from your fans, be it as a streamer or as a pro player, or is it more inwards?
Comes from failing so many times. I've failed more times in my life than I've succeeded, and that's where I think the mindset kind of just grows, where it's like, because I've succeeded before, that I'd be able to do it again. And also just believing in myself and my teammates and what we're capable of doing at our best. We just weren't able to show it on the split, that's all. But yeah, as far as my mindset goes, it's always been like that, even in other things that I do in my life. So, it's okay to fail, as long as you don't sit there and mope forever. You just learn from it and then you try to apply what you learned for next time.
FNS, I can't thank you enough for doing this despite this loss. Not many people will do this after coming off of a result like this, but for you to do that, I really do appreciate you.
Pleasure.
Got no more questions to ask. I just want to ask you if you have any final words, since this is, the end for 2024 for you. So, do you have any final words?
First of all, thank you. I know you've interviewed a lot of players. I think you do a great job. Secondly, I want to thank our supporters, our fans, our organization for consistently having our backs no matter what. And, I think hate is normal. Like, it comes with the environment. And I don't think it's deserved, but I think I understand the point of view of being a fan of a team and watching them lose consistently. So I want to apologize to those fans that had such high expectations of us, but I promise you our expectations were higher than yours. So we failed ourselves as well. And yeah, most importantly, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching, putting in your effort and time to watching us and supporting us. And even if you're watching someone else, I appreciate it. It means a lot to us.
Finesse, thank you so much for taking the time. Wherever you may go, hopefully I'll be there to talk to you, interview wherever you may land. So that's it. Thank you so much. Best of luck for the
Take care, man.
future. All right, thank you so
Appreciate
much,
it. Bye.
Finesse. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.